Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am making my vegan beef stew. This is one of my family's favorite meals. I am not vegan, but I do have a few people in my family who are, and whenever I volunteer to cook for the family, or to cook for them I should say, they always ask if this is on the menu, if this recipe is going to be served, because it's so hearty, it's so filling. You can eat it by itself, you can eat it over rice, sometimes we eat it over mashed potatoes, but there are no meat substitute products in here. It's all vegetables. So if you want to feel full and satisfied on a vegan diet, let's get into this recipe. So for ingredients, we have oyster mushrooms, maple syrup, veggie stock, tomato paste, Cabernet, liquid smoke, better than bouillon. We have carrots, celery, onions, minced garlic, and so we'll get more into the ingredients later, but first we're going to start with shredding our king oyster mushrooms. I use 3 packs, which are 9 large king oyster mushrooms, and I'm just going through each one and I'm shredding them. I feel like when you shred them, they get more of a meat-like texture when you cook them down, and so feel free to do that. But if you want to be quicker, then you can cut up your mushrooms. It's not a problem. Whatever works best for you, but I just feel like it gives it more of a beef stew vibe when you shred the mushrooms. And so I did a big pot. It was about 9 servings. We ate it without any sides, like no rice, no mashed potatoes. It could definitely stretch for more people or for longer if you have it with like rice or mashed potatoes underneath it. But we just ate it like a straight stew. We had some bread on the side, and we all got about 3 servings. It was 3 of us. We all got 3 servings each, so that's what, 9 servings altogether. Yeah, so you could feed quite a few people with one pot. Okay, so we're going to get into our mushroom seasoning. So I'm going to start with some olive oil because mushrooms don't have any fat, and you need a little bit of fat while you cook this meal. That's what makes it kind of hearty. I'm going to drizzle it with some maple syrup, only about a teaspoon. I'm going to sprinkle some pink Himalayan sea salt to add some flavor into the dish, and some liquid smoke. You don't want to miss out on this liquid smoke. It adds a beautiful smoky, savory flavor to the dish, to your mushrooms. You can also add some paprika or smoked paprika for color, but the way that I cook down my mushrooms, you don't need it. I know that some people just really like to use it in their vegan dishes to add color, but stick with me. So here I'm going to go ahead and massage all of my mushrooms. I'm going to add some liquid aminos. If you don't have liquid aminos, add soy sauce. I normally just do soy sauce, but I couldn't find any, and my mom, I'm cooking in her kitchen right now, she only had liquid aminos, so that's what I used. Now we're going to go in and brown our mushrooms. This part is so important because when you cook it down, it gives it its beautiful meat-like color, and it also changes the texture a bit of your mushrooms. It makes them more chewier, more meatier, and also it releases all those beautiful flavors. Look at how golden brown those mushrooms are. Now listen, you can eat those mushrooms just like that. I promise you, they are delicious just like that, but we're gonna not munch on them and save them for the stew. So I chopped up all of my veggies, and I'm gonna start sauteing my onions, my celery, and my carrots. My mushrooms were trying to slip in there, but don't cook your mushrooms just yet. So we're gonna go in with our holy trinity, and when I tell you the kitchen was smelling amazing, I love onion, celery, and carrots. The smell is just so beautiful. It's so aromatic. So once we cook down and sweat down our veggies, we just want to brown them a little bit. Your carrots, of course, are not going to cook through, but you want to at least cook down your onions and your celery a little bit, just so that they can really release those flavors into your stew. So as you can see, everything's nice and brown. I made a little well in the middle, and I'm going to just toast my tomato paste. I also added my mushrooms. So I'm just going to toast my tomato paste. As you can see, I cooked down a bit. Now I'm going to go in with a cup of my red wine. Any type of red wine is fine as long as it's not sweet. And then I'm going to go in with a whole container of veggie stock, which is about 4 cups. And so once all of my liquid is in, I'm going to add my potatoes on top. Make sure everything is submerged. And I'm going to start with my seasoning. So I'm going to start off with a heaping teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon. This is the roasted garlic flavor. And then I'm going to go in with 2 heaping teaspoons of their roasted vegetable base. So you don't want to skip on that. And my teaspoon that I use for that is really small. So literally a small, tiny heaping teaspoon. Then I'm going to go in with some dried thyme and a bay leaf. And also some rosemary. Also, why do they put those little shakers on top of bay leaves knowing that you need the whole thing? I never understood that. Sorry, I used 2 bay leaves. Anywho, so I'm going to go ahead and add my thyme. And I'm going to mix up all of the seasonings that I used. You don't need anything else. I promise you. And some black pepper. You want to use some black pepper for sure. But you don't need any other seasonings. No, nothing with salt in it. You are good to go. Now, I like to bring my pot to a boil. Once my pot is at a boil, I will put on my lid, reduce it to a simmer, and let it cook for about 20 minutes until my potatoes and my carrots are nice and soft. And once they are nice and soft, then we are ready to eat. But as that is cooking, I am going to make a quick little crostini for my stew, or for our stew. It's really simple. So I have fresh baked bread from the bakery of my local market. I did like a little French roll, a little baguette, and I'm just gonna cut them into small strips, or small rounds I should say. And once they're all cut into small rounds, I am going to lay them out on my baking sheet and make a quick marinade for them. Now for the marinade, is really simple. It is just olive oil, a sprinkle, not a hefty, but a nice pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt. You can use any type of salt you have, and Italian seasoning. And just really baste those pieces of bread with that sauce. I'm telling you, it's so good. And honestly, you can do the same little mixture, chop them up, and you have croutons too. Like, they taste really great as croutons. But anywho, so the bread is done. I put it at the oven, 400 degrees for 15 minutes until they're nice and crusty. And once I took them out, my beef stew, or my vegan beef stew, was done. It was looking hearty. It was looking rich. The flavor is so good. I think I'm going to make it again because it's just so good. Like, I'm not even vegan. I just really, really enjoy this dish. And if you don't want to eat it all, if you're making a pot for yourself, you can also freeze what you don't eat. So, no waste. Okay? So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave any questions or comments you have down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Join the crew. Join the family. You know, we like to cook and we like to eat over here. So if that's you, this is your tribe. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.